I'm quite sure the PAP will win. In fact, I'm quite worried that the PAP, the last 10, 20 years, allow the cost of living to go up too high. I don't think the PAP themselves got the answer. I do have many people who like me for what I am. I'm not too worried about people who don't like me. So what do? I delete their comments and I ban them. There's a song in YouTube. 我爱你有多深，我爱你有几分。
Hi everyone, thanks for joining. We have Mr. Tan, ex-CEO of NTUC Income and ex-presidential candidate 2023 here with us today. Hello Mr. Tan, how are you?
I'm fine and glad to be here.
Alright, so let's kick things off. So you were a very big name in the presidential election 2023. So what are you up to nowadays?
That was about 20 months ago. And after that, I was retired even when I stood for the election. So after that, I went into retirement. But I spent quite a bit of time on social media. My Facebook is very popular. I got a large following.
Wow.
And I also go to my apartment in Forest City, Johor Bahru.
Oh yeah, I heard about
I spent about half the time there. And I get to know Malaysia and Johor very well.
That's nice.
So in fact, Mr. Tan just came back from Malaysia.
Oh really?
To do this podcast. Yeah.
I was in Penang and I flew from Sinai Airport. Normally, you will fly from Changi. I flew from Sinai Airport to Penang and I flew back the same way.
Wow. Okay, so moving on to the next question. If you could describe your approach to politics in just 3 emojis, what would they be?
I don't know what you mean by emoji, but I will share with you 3 values.
Okay.
Which are the values I observe in my whole life. The first value is honesty. We have to be honest. So I'm not trying to make myself look good. I just be myself, to express myself honestly. The second value is to be fair. I believe that we should treat everybody fairly and not discriminate certain groups to get more and other groups to get less. And my third value is to be positive. Now, in any situation, you have both the positive and negative side. And there's a tendency for many people to look at what is wrong, what is negative. But I want to encourage people to be positive. So these are my 3 values. Like you say, my emojis.
Wow, that's really nice. That's a really nice answer, Mr. Tan. Okay, so now I have a very interesting question for you. So could you show us your Rizz?
My what?
Your Rizz.
My Rizz.
So I'll give you a clue. So Rizz is like a Gen Z slang. So could you guess what it means?
I don't know.
You should ask her, can eat or not?
Okay. Can you explain what is that question?
So basically, Rizz is like, it stands for like Kharisma. So it's like how you attract other people. So could you show us like what you would do to attract attention to yourself?
Well, I say just be myself. So I do not try to make myself look more handsome than I am. Well, I think I look quite okay for... Well, do you know how old I am? I'm 77.
Wow.
And young girls think that I'm much younger.
I see. Then if you could show us like one pose that you think you look the best in, could you show the camera that pose?
I'm not good at that because I say I'm just myself.
Okay.
And I don't try to say what must I do to look good. I just be myself.
I see. Okay, moving on. So you've always been very passionate about public service. So what made you decide to jump into the political scene? Did you have an aha moment that made you decide, I want to do this?
Well, I think it's very much fate. You see, the presidential election have got very strict criteria. You must have run a big company with a large amount of assets, and very few people qualify. and I happened to qualify. So I thought that I should step forward just because I'm one of the very few that qualify that do not come from the establishment. So I said I must step forward to provide an alternative to the establishment. So this is very much fated. And actually I ran twice. 2011 and then 2023. Both time I lost. But doesn't matter because I get to know many people. When I travel, people come and say, "You're Mr. Tan Kin Lian. Hi, I voted for you." I don't know whether it's true or not, but they all claim they voted for me. Then I think many people start to know me from these two elections, and they know what I stand for. And although I don't attract enough votes to win the election, it's still a good way to let my views be known to a large number of people.
Do you think you will run in the next election?
No, I'm already 77.
Okay.
Then I'll be 82.
Right.
And then I'll probably have dementia coming in.
Oh,
But
you
you-
Can't say that,
Mr. Tan, you don't forget President Trump, he's also not a very young guy.
And he's having dementia. Yes, I think. Furthermore, I think under the constitution, I would not qualify
I see.
because you must have served in that running a large organization within a period of, I think, 20 years. So by the next election, I would have passed that 20 years.
I see. Okay, Mr. Tan. So, I know that some of the things that you're passionate about are, job security and affordable housing, which are also the main agendas on average Singaporeans' minds. So, what do you think is the biggest challenge for Singaporeans in 2025 when it comes to job security? Especially for people from the younger generation like me.
Well, I think there are two parts of it. One is what can the government do to make sure that Singaporeans have a fair chance to get a good job, especially when you have an influx of foreigners. So that's one part that the government should pay attention to. But the other part is actually what should young people do? And I think, when I left school after secondary 4. I was actually the top student in Singapore at that time.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm not the number one, but I think within the top 10. But I left school and I took a job that is available. I don't worry too much about whether it's the right job or not. Of course, that job happens to be in the line that I want to pursue my profession, actuarial profession. But the job comes and it doesn't matter about the salary. I take the job first.
What was your first job?
My first job was to be a clerk in an insurance company. That's where I can then learn to be an actuary. Well, the salary was okay, but it was not the best salary. But I say you must then take whatever is available and don't be too choosy. And then as time goes on, the opportunities come. And I think maybe too many Singaporeans, they are too choosy and they want to say, this is the job I want, and they only go for that job. Whereas I think my approach is let's take whatever is available, and as time goes on, you will see whether that's suitable or not. And that's on the job side.
Yeah.
And then on the housing side, my view is quite different from many other people. People say housing is expensive because they see the resale price of HDB flat 1 million and so on. And actually, most young people they can qualify for a new flat. They call it a BTO flat.
Yeah.
And a 3-room flat is still quite affordable. 200 to 300,000 is still quite affordable for a working couple, So I think it becomes unaffordable when they want to go for a 5-room flat in a choice area. And many young people think that they should try to get the biggest flat they can because they're looking forward to, after 5 years, making a big capital gain. when they sell their flats. I think that's not the right approach. A flat is for you to raise a family, and when you start your family, you don't have too many children. So a 3-room flat would be quite okay, and it's not that expensive compared by international standard. So when most people say housing is unaffordable, that's because they want to buy an expensive condo.
Yeah.
I think that shouldn't be the approach.
That means the advice for the younger generations have to set their expectation more realistic and lower sort of their standards.
Not lower standard, it's adequate. It's adequate.
Okay.
In fact, during my time, most people, when they get married, they stay with their parents. They don't have to get their own flats. And it's actually quite good to stay with your parents because your parents can help to look after the babies when they come, and there's bonding with the parents. But I know today most people think that that's not a good idea. So I'm a bit old-fashioned.
Is it wrong, do you think, for Singaporeans to see housing as a form of investment? Housing?
I think that's not a good idea because it can only be a good investment when the price keep on going up. And that's why the flats are more expensive today than before. So I don't think that's a good idea. And I think one should look upon housing as a place to stay, to raise a family.
So you think they may reach a point where they may not go up anymore, prices?
Definitely. The time will come. So therefore...
So do you think it's a bubble, the property?
Yes. Well, I think the HDB new flats are okay.
All right.
But outside that is...
the resale market.
It's the resale market and the private property. It is a bubble. And you see, during my time, when I was young, the flats are much more inexpensive, cheaper. But today is quite high. Although it's affordable because of government grants and subsidy, but outside that it is a bubble. And I think it's not a good idea to think that it will continue to go up. It will not.
So, okay, as ex-CEO of NTUC Income, what kind of advices you give to the younger Singaporeans in terms of finances? Especially in times, economic uncertainty due to the Trump tariff. What kind of advice you give the younger Singaporeans?
The advice I would give is what I myself have followed over the last 60 years. Most important is don't spend all the money you earn. Must have some savings. Doesn't matter whether you got a big salary or small salary. Set aside some savings and be prudent. Don't overspend. So that's the advice I would give. Doesn't matter whether you're earning a big salary or a small salary. Do be frugal and do be spending carefully.
Okay, I got a side question. I think it's also a hot topic recently. It's about the Trump tariff. So, in your opinion, do you think this tariff thing is it a stock manipulation? I mean, from the Trump administration.
I don't know about the stock manipulation, but the Trump tariff were quite erratic, quite chaotic. It's causing a lot of problem. Right. Of course, that results in the stock market going up and down based upon his decision, his withdrawal, his changes. And that's actually no good. It's causing a lot of problem to Americans and to the rest of the world, even to Singapore. Because this uncertainty, and also I think the trade is being reduced. There's less trade around the world, and Singapore is quite badly affected. Now, whether or not Trump does it deliberately so that he can manipulate.
But he's like bragging that some of his friends make millions of dollars from that.
I think that's quite unwise of him. You can't run a country like that. It is quite chaotic, and it's not fair. It's not fair to other people who then don't get the insider information. It is quite unfair. So I think that's a very bad idea. But whether he does it wrong, I don't know.
I see. Okay, Mr. Tan, on to something a little lighter. So, what do you do in your free time?
What do I do in my free time? Well, today you got social media. So I keep in touch with what's happening around the world, and also the Trump tariff, which is big news.
Yeah.
And right now it will be the general election in Singapore. So I will pay attention to this. It's quite good to keep my mind active, keep dementia away. But I also spend time developing computer software.
Wow.
So that's something that I do. And some of the software I can actually show you later on. Okay. So that's my activity. But I also exercise regularly. My main exercise is a gym bicycle in my home. At one time, I would spend 1 hour a day on the bicycle. You perspire, and I lost weight during that time. I think just about 5 years ago, I lost 10 kg just by exercising regularly, together with control over what I eat. But now I think I will only spend about 20 minutes, 30 minutes a day. But that's quite good. And then I go to Johor, where I have an apartment. And it's a very nice place. People say Forest City is a ghost city. Well, it's not a ghost city, but it's rather quiet, which is quite good. I like to be alone. So it's very good to be in a place where there's not much hustle and bustle.
Also, Mr. Tan, I heard that you like to sing. So could you sing a little bit of your favorite song for us?
Over here?
Yeah, sure.
I'd love to hear
and
that.
everything.
But I need to have a musical accompaniment.
Come. Some
We'll
music,
sing
please.
for you.
Okay. Actually, the song in YouTube.
Okay.
You can look for me. Just look for Tan Kin Lian. Moon represent my heart.
The Tan Li Jing song.
我爱你有多深，我爱你有几分。I sang the song in 4 languages.
Wow.
In Chinese and then in English. You ask me how deep is my love. How much do I love you?
Wow.
And then it's followed by Malay.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and then I got Malay, and the one that got the biggest applause, Tamil.
Could you sing it for
Can
us?
you just sing some notes for us? I mean, Tamil version.
Tamil. Ni yen ambin alate katai nan une evalavu nisikurin. Now this is translated. The lyrics in Chinese translated to Tamil. And I sang this with a Chinese orchestra. It was a fundraising. It was a fundraising dinner. The guest of honor was Lee Hsien Loong.
Wow.
And I got a Chinese orchestra, and I sang this song in 4 languages. My colleagues in NTUC Income helped me write the lyrics. So I sang. It came out very well, and I posted this on YouTube. Look for Tan Kin Lian. Moon represent my heart. You can see that.
Okay,
definitely.
I'll
go
check it out at home.
And I think something interesting about Mr. Tan, Mr. Tan has his own board game. I think it's called a TKL dice game.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I want to give each of you as a gift.
Limited edition.
It's limited now, but it's supposed to be selling.
Can. You must sign my copy, huh?
Yeah. Now the game is originally called. It came from China. It's about 500 years old or longer. It's called 状元奖. 状元 means scholar. You're going to be a scholar. In China, if you are the top scholar, you become the prime minister. So 状元奖 means a prize. Of course, I created a name TKL Dice Game. It's a game where you throw 6 dice into a bowl, and based upon the number that appear, you either win the first prize, but first prize is very hard to get. Okay, or you get the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth prize. Sixth prize is relatively easy, or you get 0 prize. So you got let's say a group of 4 people. Then we throw the dice, and I say, I got the 6th prize. I take the 6th prize. Then you throw, and you go round until all the prizes are taken. Okay. Then the game ends. Then we count how many points we have, and then the winner is the one with the highest point. And then, of course, you can have some betting. It's a social betting. This play is quite fun. You can have some betting, or you can just play the game without any betting. So that's the game.
All right. So, Mr. Tan.
And that one was created. You see, that game, I played it when I was a little child. And that's about 70 years ago. My father taught me the game, but my brothers and sisters, we loved the game. When my father came back, he goes out on the ship, and every few days he come back. Then we all play the game. It was very fun for the family. So that game was the family loves it. So and then that was 70 years ago, and I forgot how the game was played. And I asked ChatGPT, was there a game like this? And I found the game, and I even created a online version for people to play the game.
That's nice.
Mr. Tan, I want to ask you a question. You mentioned you don't believe in partisan politics.
Well, I believe that a country has problems.
Yeah.
How to develop the economy, how to make sure people have jobs and improve the standard of life. In many countries, the partisan politics, that means I must bring you down, you must bring me down. We spend our time fighting each other, and the problems of the country are not being solved.
A zero-sum game.
It's not being solved. I would actually prefer that if you come from different parties, we all have a common problem. In fact, this general election, I'm quite sure the PAP will win. I'm quite sure because they are very powerful. Yeah. But I think it's not a good idea that the PAP will win a dominant position. It's better to have other opposition parties elected in a reasonable number, maybe 1/3 of the seats. And then we all should focus our attention on what are good policies for the country to make sure that the challenges ahead are addressed. I don't think the PAP themselves got the answer. In fact, I'm quite worried that the PAP, the last 10, 20 years, allowed the cost of living to go up too high. So therefore, I would actually like to see them change their policy, and they can only change their policy if there's input from other people. So that's my view. That it's better that we work together, don't fight each other. And I think in Parliament, when the opposition MPs make some suggestion, they are not listened to. I think that's bad. As the government in power, you must be more open-minded and don't try to bully the other people just because they are in a different party. Well, that's my view.
All right, Mr. Tan. So now we're going to test you on how well you know different Gen Alpha slangs. So in my hand, I have a few cards, and each of them contain one word from the Gen Alpha slang vocabulary. So you can randomly pick one, and then you can try and guess what it means.
I must say that it will be very difficult because I was not following.
Right, let's see. What is it?
ATE. 8.
8. So can you guess what it means?
Well, I know what 8 means. That means I've eaten my dinner. But I don't know what it means. Sorry.
So actually, in slang, it means like like, oh my god, you ate that. So like, oh my gosh, you were really good at it. Yeah.
You're good at it, is it?
Like, yeah, like you did really well at that. So to me, it means like do something really well. Yeah.
To some age, okay. I've not been following the
You can go on TikTok more.
Let's try one more.
You want to do one more?
Yeah.
One more.
Okay. Let me spread it
I
out.
think last one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm not very popular with with the younger people. Cap. You know the cap? Okay, but I don't know what it means. What is special meaning for the Gen Z? Yeah?
Cap means like that's false. Like it's a lie. Like the people say, oh, that's cap.
False.
Yeah.
I didn't know you're going to ask me. I would have asked ChatGPT, give me
No, we want to answer the coming from yourself.
Yeah.
So,
All right, moving on. So the Straits Times published that nearly 1 in 3 youths in Singapore reported very poor mental well-being, with emotional states such as depression, anxiety, and stress. So what kind of advice would you give to these youths?
Again, it would be something that I believe for a long time. Don't have too high expectation. Have modest expectation. So then everything becomes quite acceptable. If you have very high expectation, then you're going to face difficulty. And then that will cause mental, even the school result. Maybe the children out of parental expectation want to do extremely well. No, I think it's not necessary to pursue that line. Some people may not do well academically when they are young, but they will, when they start to come out to work, have a chance to improve themselves. So don't have too high expectation. And I think that would be what I would say to be the best way to handle stress. Don't have high expectation. Be more modest.
That's nice.
Do you feel that you were misunderstood by the public?
To some extent, yes. To some extent, yes. Again, it is not a good habit in Singapore to be too judgmental. Many people judge others based upon their very high standard. So therefore, they will probably say, I don't know the Gen Z language and so on. No, I think we have to be more tolerant, more respecting other people. So there are people who probably hold a standard of me which I don't meet. But that's okay. That's up to them.
Do you feel like you want to say anything to correct their perception of you?
No, I think there will be some people like that, and I think it's actually their problem because I do have many people who like me for what I am, and they come and meet me and they say, Mr. Tan, no, I like what you do. So therefore, I'm not too worried about people who don't like me. So
you can't please everyone. I mean,
Yeah.
That's the real world.
So I actually would prefer that, in fact, even in my social media, the comments, I get a certain segment of people who are quite negative and they will be quite disrespectful. They are quite arrogant. So what do? I delete the comments and I ban them. So that's all I can do. And it doesn't matter. I do have the other people who are more positive, more helpful.
What was your proudest moment in public service?
I wouldn't, I can't tell you, but I did serve and help Goh Chok Tong when he started as an MP. I helped him to build up his Marine Parade constituency. But that's about 40 years ago. I wouldn't say that's my proudest moment. I just do it because it's something worthwhile to do.
Yeah.
Something worthwhile to do.
That's nice.
For your contribution to Singapore.
Yeah.
I think Mr. Goh Chok Tong remembered this after so many years. And he also looked upon me with respect whenever I meet with him.
That's nice. So, Mr. Tan, what does the ideal Singapore look like to you, and how can young Singaporeans like myself help you to achieve this?
I think Singaporeans, while we do well, we should be more humble, especially towards other countries. People of other countries should be more humble. We should not be just thinking about what is good for myself. That's quite a common habit. Everybody pursue what is good for themselves. They should pause and think about what is good for other people. Normally when I give my views, it's not for myself. It is what is good for society in general. And I hope that more people can adopt that way of thinking, because I'm quite worried that Singaporeans are too, first of all, they set very high standards, which they cannot meet, and then they get into depressed, and then they are too much pursuing their own interests. They should be more considerate of what is the wider interest of other people. If Singapore can be like that, then you'll be better. You see, for a long time, Singaporeans have a low opinion of the people of China. Oh, they are very selfish. They are very crude and not polished. I was in China 3 times last year and 1 time this year, 4th time. The people there are very gracious, very helpful, very respectful of other people. So actually, I say we should recognize that what we think about other people may be out of date. And I think if you travel and you see other people, then it's actually, you can learn from them.
Okay, Mr. Tan, we have our final question for you today. So, do you have any last piece of advice for young Singaporeans?
Be humble. Be humble. When you are humble and respectful, that is a very good attribute. Okay, and the other one would be think about the interests of other people, not just yourself. Those will be my 2 advice.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us today, Mr. Tan.
Thanks, Mr. Tan.
Thank you.